Hi guys, it's Ashley at Inventions, your favorite protective styles and wellness coach. So I'm back with another video, and this video is what are protective styles? Let's break it down. They're styles designed to protect your hair from breakage, from dryness, and damage, especially the ends of your hair. They are the most fragile part, so you want to protect them at all costs. When your hair grows, it grows from the root, right? It grows from the scalp, and so this is always the fresh new part of your hair, but at the ends and the tips is the oldest part of your hair. So as your hair continues to grow and grow and grow, the ends of your hair will always still be there. Even when you're trimming those ends, they still will become the oldest parts of your hair. Okay, so let's think of protective styles as braids, twists, cornrows, buns, weaves, wigs, and more, right? If you wear any of those styles are supposed to be protective styles, right? But we also want to remember that all styles are not protecting your hair, even if you have your hair in one of the styles I just listed. Let me tell you why. If the style is not done right, if the tension is too tight, if the wrong hair is used, if the natural hair is not prepped prior to adding any hair, if it's a protective style with extensions, then it may not protect your hair. So you definitely want to be mindful of those things, okay? Can protective styles be done on all hair types? Yes, they can. They can be done on straight and wavy hair, and some protective style examples are loose buns, loose braids, twists, silk wrap ponytails, right? Or curly hair, which some examples of protective styles are flat twists, puffs, loose braids, and pineapple styles, right? Those are the little up pony. Or coily kinky hair, which are braids, touche and twists, updos, wigs, and cornrows. Coily kinky hair can stand protective styles the most because it is a little bit more thicker and stronger, so it can work well with high manipulating hairstyles, and most of the time those are those styles with braids, twists, and updos, and all of the above, okay? How long should you leave in a protective style? I'm gonna pause for a minute and let you think about that. There are many answers to this question, but for me, as a hairstylist, over 25 years in the game, and I am a healthy hair care stylist, which means I care about your hair first, I would say no more than 4 to 6 weeks, okay? Is ideal for most protective styles. Of course, it depends on how well you prepped your hair, the type of style that you have in, and also if you are taking care of your hair while that protective style is in. You can extend the time you have the style in as long as you take care of your hair as well. Most people get protective styles and they think that they don't need to take care of their natural hair, and that's a no-no. Then you leave these styles in for so long, and then now it's damaging your hair more than protecting it. So you got to be careful and mindful of that, right? When you take care of your hair and your scalp, and also leave it in for a decent amount of time, meaning not too long or not too short, it helps to prevent buildup, right? When we get buildup on our scalp, buildup in our hair, it can also lead to breakage, right? It could also lead to slow growth because our hair grows at the root, and if there's too much buildup, it traps the follicles from growing out, and they grow inward, and then it could cause balding and thinning on the scalp, right? When you leave it in for the 4 to 6 weeks, or take care of your hair while the style is in to extend the style, you also allow your scalp to be healthy, right? So if you keep your scalp healthy, then you definitely can extend the style, and it is a protective style at that point, right? It also helps to reduce breakage, right? Sometimes the longer you leave the style in, the more breakage you will have because the more tangled it would be, especially if you're not taking care of that style or taking care of your hair while the style is in. Also, it helps to protect your edges. Let's think about it. If we are getting a style, let's say braids, and we're gripping the edges as it grows, it can pop, right? It can pop because now it's stretching. I don't know if you guys can see, it'd be stretching and stretching and stretching back, and it can start popping off. And then once it pop off, then you have balding on your edges, thinning on your edges because you left the style in too long, or you didn't protect your edges while the style was in, okay? So what happens if I leave it in too long? Let's see what too long might be. If I said a safe sweet spot is 4 to 6 weeks, too long might be 10 to 12 weeks, 12 to 14 weeks maybe, right? And so if you leave it in too long, your hair can become matted. I don't know if you guys are like internet gurus, you watch a lot of hair videos and things like that, but sometimes you can see those videos where Oh, I left my braids in for 6 months and it's super matted. It's so much dirt and so much buildup and it's ill. Sometimes it looks like the hair really grew long because it might be longer, but most of the time you might see thinning of the hair because it was so caked up that now even a new growth is not healthy anymore to keep, so it breaks, right? And it sheds more than it should. So your hair will get matted if you leave it in way too long. The scalp can get irritated, right? Because hair grows from a clean scalp. It's a myth about it growing in dirt. Like, we need to stop that. Hair grows from a clean scalp. So now the scalp has been dirty for X amount of Z amount of weeks or months, and it hasn't been treated. This is why I'm saying if you want to extend your style, you need to clean that scalp. And so the scalp can get irritated because it is dirty. And when it's dirty, you start to itch. And when you start to scratch, sometimes you can scratch off some skin off your scalp. You can cause, like, breaks in your scalp, which could lead to scalp damage and also scabs. Sorry, I couldn't even think of it. Scabs on your scalp from scratching too hard because it's irritated, and that's not something that you will want. So I say ideally stick to the shorter time period if you're not one to take care of your scalp in order to leave that protective style in a little bit longer. The growth gets stunted, right? And I explained that a little earlier, how the growth can get stunted because now the buildup is there, then you're scratching. The scalp is not free, it's not breathing. Sometimes the circulation that you need to go through your scalp doesn't happen because of the style that you have in, or you having a style in for too long. And so much can happen when you leave the braids in for too long. And we think that, oh, it's a protective style. Braids help your hair grow. The longer I leave it in, the more growth I have. And sometimes it's not the truth because we supposed to experience 100 to 200 hair fall a day. If we're not combing our hair every day, it's going to have shedding, right? Our hair grows regardless, right? It's just certain practices that you have that can have it more healthier and have lymph retention, which can also just make it seem like, oh, this protective style works for me. But you have to put in the work to always take care of your hair no matter what style you have in. Moisture can be lost, right? Of course, if you're not using any products while you have a protective style in, any oil, any liquids or leave-ins or anything like that, then the moisture, of course, is going to be lost. So then it's going to be dry. Dry hair leads to breakage, right? So now, is this style really protecting my hair at this time any longer? So you got to think about that as well. So here's a pro tip. Listen to your scalp. If it's itchy, tight, or flaking, what you guys think? It's time to take that style out. Stop trying to extend it, being uncomfortable. Yes, it could be time consuming to take it out, and we got lives and we want to, do what we need to do. But I think that listening to your scalp is the best way to keep your hair healthy and to keep lymph retention, right? You always want to cleanse and moisturize when your hair is in a style. You always want to cleanse and moisturize when your hair is in a style, okay? That's the best thing for you to do because the protective style is only protective if you are still caring for your hair underneath. Not neglecting your hair, not leaving the styling for dear life. You got all this white flakes and caked up dirt and you outside trying to be cute and it's just like ill. After a while, it starts smelling, especially if you're sweating or in the summer or whatever. Just protect your scalp. Find that sweet spot that works for you about how long you want to leave the style in. Make sure you're still taking care of your scalp and you should be fine, okay? Those are my tips when it comes to how long you should leave a style in. A lot of people ask me that and they're not sure. They're thinking it shouldn't matter because it's a protective style and that kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, no. So this brings me to my next question I wanted to answer for you guys. Can I wash my hair while it's in a protective style? Short answer, yes, you can. Depending on the protective style, of course, because some styles should not be wet and it will mess up the longevity of the style. Other styles, you definitely can wet it, you can wash it, and you can dry it, and it actually refreshes it, right? It's essential to a healthy scalp, as I mentioned before, and hair growth, right? Especially if you're rocking any braids, any twists, or any weaves longer than 2 weeks or 4 weeks, you definitely want to wash your protective style. Wigs are great because you can take it off, take care of your hair underneath, put it back on and be fine, right? If you're one of those girlies who's just like, listen, I need a style for a long, because, you take care of the wig, you could rock the wig forever because you can still take care of your hair underneath. So it's kind of like an unlimited kind of thing. But if you have braids or anything else, you know, your hair is intertwined with the extension here, and you still need to take care of your hair and scalp while it's in. So here's some tips that you should know if you're gonna wash your hair with a protective styling. Use a gentle cleanser or diluted shampoo, okay? Sometimes they have this, dry shampoo that you could spray and cleanse your hair without really messing up the style and at least getting some things going on. This is great. My leave-in conditioning, hydrating, scalp and styling spray is all-purpose spray. You can leave it in. I use this with my protective styles to cleanse my scalp. It's a liquid leave-in. Is no soap or anything involved, but it has ingredients in it that can cleanse and hydrate my scalp while my protective style is in, which is great, because I can prolong my hairstyle because I'm still keeping my scalp clean, and I don't have to go through the whole process of really washing, using soap, drying, and sitting under the dryer and all of that. So if you guys want to know, I'll leave the link below. We are having our Mother's Day sale, so it'd be great to give our products a try if you love protective styles, or even if you just love wearing your hair out naturally. You also, when you're washing your hair, or of course using a dry shampoo, whatever choice you choose, you definitely want to focus on the scalp and not so much the style, right? We are still trying to extend our style, so we don't want to irritate, mess it up, or mat it up. So we just really want to focus on the scalp. The reason for even washing our hair in a protective style is to care for the scalp. So when you are choosing to do so, focus on the scalp and not the style. If you're going to wash it, you want to rinse thoroughly, because leaving any excess product on the scalp leads to buildup. That's why I love liquid products, right? They're not gonna leave any buildup. It's the cream products, it's the soaps, the shampoos, and things like that. It may leave it on your scalp. So if you're gonna use it, you need to thoroughly rinse the product out of your scalp so you don't have that buildup problem. And then you just wanna follow with a light oil or a light leave-in, right? So this will also be great to use if you do choose to wash your hair. You can put this light leave-in liquid and then follow with an oil. We also have oils as well. You can try our products for the Mother's Day sale, 25% off. But anyway, those are my tips if you are choosing to take care of your hair and scalp while you're having a protective style, which I do recommend. So your protective style is protecting your hair as long as you are protecting your scalp. Don't let buildup, itchiness, irritation mess with your hair growth goals. I hope that was helpful, and I just want to leave you guys with this. Protective styles are more than just a trend. They are a strategy for healthy hair growth, length retention, and low maintenance living, especially for busy moms, busy women, busy people who don't have time to do and style their hair every single day, okay? So protective styles are really, really great. You just need to know how to let them be a protective style, okay? We don't neglect protective styles. When they're done right, here's some things that protective style can do for you. They can minimize daily manipulation, okay? You don't want to always be in your hair, manipulating your hair, hot combing, flat iron, combing all the time, all the high manipulation. You don't want that daily, right? Because that's messing with your hair goals. Hair thrives in simplicity, consistency, and low manipulation styles, right? It shields your ends from damage, right? Because most of the time we have a protective style, your ends should be tucked away. They should not be out free, touching any, cotton shirts, anything like that. Protective styles can help to retain moisture when done right, when taking care of your scalp, using the right products while the style is in. It can help your hair to retain moisture. And it also gives you a break. It gives your hair a break and your hands a break. Okay, so protective styles are really, really great. It's more than just being trendy and just getting your hair done. It is a great way to help you on your hair journey. That's why I love protective styles. So I hope this video was really, really great for you. I hope you learned something new and you listened to me about protecting your protective style. All right. Even when you're sleeping, you want to protect your style. If you don't like wearing a bonnet or it slides off, you need to get a silk pillowcase, silk sheet, something, so your hair isn't rubbing against cotton. You just not, protecting it. You want to protect your protective style. You also want to protect your hair in a protective style. And that's how the style stays protective, okay? So Please let me know below if you're going to try any of these tips, if these tips were helpful for you, if you want to know about products to use while you have a protective style. Let me know it all in the comments below. And I thank you guys for watching. Until next time. Wait, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I talk all things hair, health, and wellness, and spiritual. God is always number one in my life, okay? I definitely love to share those things on my channel. And if you are someone who's looking to grow in all areas of your life, you want to subscribe here, and you want to share the video because you never know who it can bless, right? Who may have been looking for this information. So if I don't see you guys or post another video, happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next time.